you know,
How do
it's
we
just one
start?
of those things.
How do we start? Okay.
Dog, I don't know. Need you
Okay,
to
I guess
figure it
we're
out
back.
though.
Why is my audio? Wait, oh my god. Why is my audio so loud?
Okay, we're back. Wait.
I'm just gonna leave all of this in. Okay.
All right.
We're back with another podcast. Um, a little surprised we have another podcast, but here we are. Today we're going to
You
be
know,
talking about these patch notes that were released for Apex Legends. So if you don't care about Apex Legends, maybe this ain't the podcast for you. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't know. It could be cool
Or if you just want to listen to us yell about everything for like the next half hour,
if
go
you
ahead.
want to listen to us yell about things that really don't matter at all. Go ahead and stick around.
Also, I fixed my microphone. It was a simple fix that required a lot less time than I put into it, but here we are. So hopefully this podcast will go better.
Hopefully, it won't be a constant buzzing in the background for
A
no reason.
constant pain in the podcast. Okay. So there's a new event coming out. It's called Fight Night. It's on the 5th, which for us is in 2 days. It might already be out by the time this goes up, but I'm not entirely sure. Uh, where do we start? Okay, we're just gonna read the patch notes and we're just gonna go over it. So this
Of
we're
course.
in for a roller coaster. The first thing I saw on the patch notes is airdrop escalation takeover. I'm just gonna straight read it.
Yeah.
With this update, we're testing a new approach to limited time modes. Instead of launching as at its own playlist, the airdrop escalation limited time mode will be a takeover of the normal play Apex game mode. It's classic battle royale, but with way more supply drops. Immediately after you leave the jump ship, you'll find a cluster of 4 supply drops across the map. During each round, more will drop. They land at the same speed as Lifeline care packages. Each supply drop contains a fully kitted weapon of different tiers, depending on the round. For example, round 1's drop features level 2 kitted weapons, while round 4 drops include red armor and crate weapons. As with regular fully kitted weapons, you can't break them down or swap their attachments onto other weapons, and of course, regular weapons and weapons will still appear as ground loot. That's clearly a typo, but you know.
Of
And
course.
we're curious to see what the takeover does. So basically, they're just adding a buttload of care packages to Apex.
It, it's an interesting idea. Um,
It certainly is.
I don't know. I mean, there's not a whole lot that you can do for limited time modes in this game to begin with. So like, it's
Yeah.
kind of
Here's my
kind of
main.
different.
I mean, I don't have a problem with the game mode itself. My main problem comes with it's a takeover. It's not a limited time mode, so it's replacing normal Apex. It's not going to be its own mode.
Is it?
Yeah. It says this will be a
Huh.
takeover in quotes of the normal play Apex game mode. My problem with that
Oh,
is,
yep.
what if I just want to play Apex, like just normal Apex? I'm not, I'm just, kick back after a
Yeah.
long day and just want to play. I don't want to grind ranked. I'm not really feeling a new limited time mode. I don't want to play Winter Express, which
Yeah, you
everybody
just
says
want to
over
play
and over
normal
this.
Apex.
I just want to play. I just can't. It just replace. That's why
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the whole replacing. Like the mode itself is fine. It's something different, something new. I mean, it's not that
Yeah,
exciting.
and
I mean, we'll see what it is, but I have a problem with it replacing the normal mode.
yeah, and that's my thing. How long is this event even going for? Does it say? Because if it's like
Mm,
the whole month thing, like the train event was, which I don't assume it is, but let's say it's over
I
2
think
weeks long.
I think
I
it is
don't
two
want.
weeks.
I was gonna say I don't want it to be just this. This is all you can play for 2 weeks, unless you want to go play ranked or something.
Well, because this is a collection event, which is that's the ones with the 24 Apex packs you have to buy. And I
Oh
think
yeah,
those ones, and then you get an heirloom if you buy all of them, but we'll get to that later. I think those ones usually run for 2 weeks. At least I'm pretty
huh?
sure. Which so I don't know if the airdrop thing is gonna run the whole 2 weeks. I would imagine it does, but still 2 weeks seems like a lot of
Yeah,
time to just replace normal Apex.
yeah. Because I could see if it was like like a 1 week thing, like
That's
fine,
why,
whatever. It's still not great, but it's slightly more bearable.
yeah, that's why I'm just not a fan of it replacing Apex.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm looking at this picture though. And there's what? There's 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah, I'm also
5
gonna
in
post
that immediate area.
I'm gonna post the link, so if people who are watching or listening wanna follow along with us or look at the pictures or whatever.
Yeah.
I also might put pictures
It's
up on the actual video, but I'm not sure yet.
yeah, so there's like the 2 videos in this article, and then there's the 2 pictures. That second one with that weird Watson skin.
Mhm.
That one, there's like 4
Yeah,
packages
and yeah.
or 5 packages in that one section. If it's like that, then it's kind of, like
Well, so it
sure.
says, after you leave the jump ship, you'll find a cluster of 4 supply drops across the map. During each round,
Yeah,
more will drop. They land at the same speed as lifeline care packages. So it's just gonna be the whole
wait.
map is gonna be scattered with a buttload of packages.
Yeah, I really want to know, like, presumably they despawn at some point because you can't just have that many
I mean,
game
I don't think they
assets
do.
just sitting there doing nothing. Yeah, I'd imagine that's very hard on,
Well,
server
yeah, and
resources
it's
to begin with,
also
and
it's also Apex.
computer hardware.
I
I
don't.
don't
It
know.
doesn't. I don't think they do. I mean, it doesn't say anything about it.
Wait,
So,
it says 4 clusters.
uh,
I really want to know
no,
exactly what that
you'll
means.
find a cluster of 4 supply drops. Well, see, it says a cluster, but then afterwards it says across the map. Those conflict.
Are they? I would assume there's
Cluster.
different clusters of 4? Question mark. I don't really know.
Maybe. Well, because it says a cluster, which is why.
Yeah,
I think it has to mean that. Like,
the wording
clusters
of this is not great.
I assume you're right. I think it's clusters of 4 supply drops across the map. That would make sense.
Yeah,
to me.
just around
Just
the map,
scattered about.
which
Yeah. So I guess those would be
which
like
is
hot
gonna
drop
make
zones because there's gonna be a load of drops there.
yeah, but it's also gonna make like the whole hot dropping thing and the third partying even worse because
Yeah.
if there's only
Yeah.
figuring that there's all these clusters around, if a team doesn't drop on one, but you and 3 other people do, and you beat those other squads, then this guy who landed over in a bus is going to come by and just finish you off and have all the loot to himself.
Yeah.
This really is a step backwards in terms of the third partying issue, but I understand that they don't really have that in mind. It's just supposed to be a fun mode, so.
Well, that's precisely my issue with it. And I want to talk about the boxing ring, but that's after this. If that's replacing normal Apex and the Pathfinder I mean, we haven't gotten there yet, but I'll say that for a minute. But I just don't understand why they replaced the normal mode.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, because I mean, I don't outside of the train event, I don't play any of the other modes, and now I'm being forced to, and I'm not a fan.
They did say they're trying it, so this is obviously something new that they're doing with the whole takeover limited time modes. But I just don't think it's gonna end well.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's gonna be a popular move
to me, but no. Also, it says while round 4 drops include red armor and crate weapons, that means we could all just we could be like 10 PKs in one area. Or 10 cravers.
Yeah, they're gonna be
just
10 cravers.
So that's gonna be
sniping each other.
That's gonna be something.
It's gonna get real sketch, but
yeah, actually.
I'm sure it'll be fun at that point when there's 10 cravers on the map and
I did
everyone's
see on
in a
Twitter,
free-for-all.
Someone asked whether stats and badges are gonna count because it replaces the main mode, and one of the devs said yes. So if people want to get the 4K or the 2K badge, this seems like probably the time.
Probably.
Which is again odd to me. If there's 5 cravers in one area, that seems like I don't understand.
Yeah,
stats.
Then it's like super easy to.
Yeah, exactly. I just don't understand
that. I mean, the takeover's one thing. That is a whole other thing. That's kind of. I would have not chosen to go that route.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't.
It doesn't make any sense.
But I guess we'll have to find out.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next thing is Pathfinder Town Takeover. This is gonna be the first like takeover in Olympus, which is
Yeah.
interesting. Drop your weapons and get ready for a brawl in Pathfinder's Town Takeover, Fight Night style. Entering the ring will prevent any player from using their weapons and any of their abilities. The only way to beat someone is via a bit of fisticuffs. Oh, and don't worry about any outside ring interference. No outside projectiles, grenades, or abilities can penetrate the ring's force field. Punch out the loot balls contained within the ring to scoop up some rare loot. Just remember you can't use it until you leave.
That's
This
kind of
is
cool.
it is really cool. That was my first thought. I was like, this is what I mean. A lot of people not wanted, but like this. Like you see those clips on Twitter, Reddit, whatever, of
Yeah.
people 1v1ing each other at the end of a round, just getting a
Yeah.
boxing ring. This is
This is just
literally
that,
that,
but
but
in
on
the
a
game,
grander
and
scale.
there's a benefit to it outside of winning the match.
I'm really glad they did it so you can't shoot in. Because
Yeah.
it seems like it looks like an actual stadium. There's like where the stands where people
Right.
would be. And I'm seeing like a little
Yeah.
platform in the second photo where like literally looking over the whole ring.
Yeah.
Someone would just whip out their Kraber or their triple take and just shoot
Oh yeah,
everyone in the ring.
absolutely.
Especially the
Yeah.
grenade thing, just throwing arc stars in there. That would be so annoying.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be
Yeah.
really interesting to see just people with like, especially like I don't know if does armor count. Like if I walk in with purple armor and you walk in with white, I mean it's obviously not gonna be an even fight.
Yeah, that's a good
Or
question.
is like armor disabled or
The other question I have is how do you get out, well, in or out, first of all? Is it through those corner sections or is the whole thing game?
I think the whole I think it's just like a barrier to protect against like weapons. I think you can just walk in.
Yeah, okay. Because I was going to say, if they only allowed you to get out through like the corner section and a Watson comes by and
Oh yeah,
fences
yeah,
you in
right.
there, then you're kind of screwed because you can't use your
I
gun.
Yeah, I hope not because that would just be shitty.
It still seems easy to get camped, but I don't know.
Well, so the picture looks really big. I'm wondering how tall the
What
like
the actual size is, yeah.
I'm wondering how tall the like the flaps on the side are. Where the ring is. Like I'm
Yeah.
wondering like if you put a Watson fence, I mean it doesn't look. It's not gonna cover the whole flap, or it's gonna cover just the flat part, right? So
Yeah.
you could just like jump over it. I would assume
Maybe.
because it looks like you have to climb into it. You can't just like jump.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure.
Yeah. I don't know. Um that's the thing though, is it's hard to tell based off of this picture,
Yeah, there's
like the
only two
scale.
pictures. Well, only one picture. The other one's just like an entrance.
I don't know. If you go off like how tall it is, like the box is in that little lower section by those
Mm-hmm.
stairs on the
Mm-hmm.
left half of the
Right.
screen, that box looks to be about the same size as that lip. So I'd imagine you have to climb into it.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
I think. I don't know.
But
That's
yeah,
it's
I
at the
guess
very least you're gonna have to jump into it.
yeah.
But I'd imagine you'd have to climb it.
Right. Either way, the whoever designed this stadium, they need a raise because this thing
Yeah,
looks dope as hell. I mean, it looks like a
yeah.
real stadium would look.
Whoever built this in game
And
needs a raise because
I
this is
remember
awesome.
if you go back to the supply drop thing, that picture with the
Hmm.
Watson, there's that giant banner. Um, I think
Uh,
that's actually been in the game for like a week or
uh,
two.
yeah,
Um, it was just like I think it was before the trailer even came out. It was like a sneak preview of what it is.
yeah.
There's something about like virtual tickets or something. Something like that, like online tickets or something, or like digital stuff. And if you look at the picture with the ring, it looks like where that platform is. It looks like there's stands there. I wonder if there's gonna be like holograms or like people in there, or like other Marvins,
Maybe.
or if it's just gonna be like a giant empty ring. Because I think it'd be really cool if there were
Uh,
like people in the stands like cheering and chanting and stuff.
yeah. It would be cool if I don't know the logistics of this, but if Apex could do like a live stream of just the ring
Mm,
somewhere, like the ring from like actual live games going on,
that would
like
be
whether
sick,
they're
actually.
ranked or whatever, and you could just watch people box it out in the ring
That oh yeah, that
constantly.
would
But
actually be sick.
I don't know
Well, I
how
mean,
that would even
they have
work.
access to private matches or like custom matches, so they
Yeah,
could easily get 60 people, even for like that would be actually be a really good idea for like just getting people involved or like getting the word out. If we just get like 60 pros or
yeah,
whatever, and they just drop
to
all
all
of
go
them in
box
the
it out.
ring, yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be actually sick.
or even just set up like a bracket style
Yeah,
fight where they just had
right, like
yeah
a tournament.
yeah like that would be cool.
Also, I just noticed it looks like there's a zip line going in. You
Yeah,
see
there are
that on
zip
like the
lines
right?
going
I
in and
didn't see
out.
that.
Yeah. There's on the right, and then you can see kind of in the photo where it goes, where that zip line ends in the ring. There's like a couple
Yeah.
more that go out the other side,
Oh, I think it's yeah. I think it's
and
on
then there's
every
some that go out the opposite
corner
end.
or every
Yeah, it looks like there's
face.
some zip lines coming in and out of each end.
Oh, on the
But
platform you can kind of see one. There's like a little pole there.
oh yeah, there is one. Yeah,
It gets kind of
yeah.
covered
So
there
there's a
too,
zip
but
line in and out of each
that's interesting. So people can just like zip
side.
in, land on you, and punch you.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be really interesting. They also said the devs or one of the devs said on Twitter something about when they play tested it, they had the whole game and like the last ring ended on one of the in the boxing ring, and it was just like a massacre. People like everybody was there just punching each other. So I'm interested to
that
see
would
how
be cool.
that plays out.
Yeah, that would be cool if they added like into the game like one set of rings that happens that has like a chance of happening where the ring ends on this boxing ring,
Yeah,
and it's like if you leave the boxing ring then you die, but
right.
the,
The
the
whole
ring
ring
just
just
stops
surrounds
at the
it.
boxing ring. Yeah,
That would be sick.
and there's just no countdown. It just waits till whoever boxes it out for the win. That would be fun.
That
But
would be yeah.
yeah, that would seem like a lot of extra resources and stuff that I'm not entirely sure how it works.
Yeah. Okay. The next thing is this is just the collection event, the actual skins and stuff.
Oh yeah,
Which, if you don't know
that
how these
Revenant's
work, or yet
pretty cool.
if you haven't played Apex, just whenever these collection events happen, there's the 24 Apex packs, or 24 limited items in the store, and you can buy individual ones, or you can just buy a pack and you have a random chance to get them. There's 12 purple ones and then 12 legendary gold ones. They're expensive, but they also look sick as hell. Especially if you're following along, that Revenant skin, that looks amazing.
Yeah, that Revenant skin's really cool.
I've been saving up my crafting medals because you can also buy them with crafting medals if you have them, but they're very expensive. The legendary ones are double. They're usually 1,200 in like the normal skins, but now they're 2,400. And then purples for some reason are 800, which seems like kind of a jump, but you know. But yeah, I mean, this is
that
just...
that Loba skin yet again. Loba skins are just always a dud, but that Revenant skin's really cool.
See,
I will say that is one of the stronger Loba skins, but it's
I think
still
the skin
not
itself, it's just like the top half, the head is like bad, but I don't mind the neck down, like the shirt.
Yeah.
The I just for some they just can't get the head right on any Loba skins. Because I think that was the problem with the other one.
Yeah.
Is the skin is the Ice Queen one for the Winter Express. I think people were saying that they like that one, but the eyeliner, what is that called? Eyeshadow, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
It just looks like butt. Because there's like there's just blue eyeshadow on her eyelids.
Yeah, no, there's too much goofy. Like there's too much like colors in this, right? Because you go from like the dark blackish blue kind of pants into the blue of the shirt and whatnot, and then light blue hair with like turquoise blue eyeshadow or what. Like it all clashes. Like it's not one similar shade of blue.
Like I like the style, but like you're right. It's just the colors are so not good.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is about Loba, because the Revenant one they nailed. There's no clashing colors. It all matches.
Yeah.
There's a bit of contrast, but it doesn't clash. But the thing that really irritates me is the hair on Loba. The color is just god awful.
Yeah.
Because it's like the same hair style. It's just
what would be
garbage.
cool, because like I'm not like things can clash in like a good way. Like the red plays off the blue pretty well. If they would have done red
Right.
hair with red eyeshadow, that might not have looked bad. That
Right.
might have looked better than this.
Right.
But making all that blue and then just having random spouts of red, like red nails, and then the
Right.
jetpack's red, and the underside of the shirt's red, and around the collar's red. It's like, it's just weird.
And Loba just doesn't get legendary skins to begin with. And
Yeah,
the I think her only
and the ones
two
she
were
does get.
I think the only two she has is this one and then the winter one, and they were both not
Mhm.
good.
Yeah, no, they were not.
I just don't understand. And that's
Yeah,
really
no, I mean,
disappointing because there's so much potential there, and also her base legendary skins are amazing. Like I
yeah,
really don't dislike any of them. There's more some that I like more than the others, but they all
yeah,
look good. I just don't know what they doing with the cosmetic, the limited time stuff that I just don't understand.
yeah.
Do not
Oh, I
understand.
mean, yeah, I don't know.
But the biggest thing out of this cosmetic or the Apex packs is if you get all 24, you get the Gibraltar heirloom, which I will again. I don't know if I'm putting pictures on the video or not, but if you want to follow along, I don't know what this is. I don't know what it's called, but it's basically just like an axe.
It's just a hatchet, I
It's just a
guess you would call it.
hatchet, but instead of
Might
like
be a little big for a hatchet, though. I don't know.
the normal like blade, is that what you the normal head? It's like
Yeah,
a saw blade cut off.
yeah.
Which it
Um,
okay. Just to start, it looks sick as hell. I really like the
yeah.
design
No,
of
it
it.
looks fine. It's
And I
just,
think they put a video and it like lights up or like the little glowy orange parts they like light up and like glow or like burn I guess, and it
yeah,
looks super dope. It just doesn't make sense at all.
yeah. Couple things. It looks like a hatchet when it's there by itself, but then when he's holding it, he can put two hands on it,
Oh,
which
we can't.
most hatchets you
I believe
usually
you.
can't.
Right. Well, hatchets are generally one hand. Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, it
they're
is. It is.
usually
Oh, wow. It
one-handed
is
things.
actually really big.
It's not to scale if it's meant to be
No,
a
the
hatchet. Two, that little like stone thing hanging off of it, you can see in this animation
mm,
clips through his thumb, and that's annoying
yeah.
the crap out of me.
Oh my god. Okay. I just saw that.
This seems a little rushed,
They
and that's
they
a
better
very
fix that.
strange place to put that little rock. First of all, um, it's very
I
it's very
okay.
odd placing.
First of all, just for how rare heirlooms are, if they do not fix that, I'm gonna be pissed. Like I know it's an
Yeah,
axe, it's a cosmetic. If it's a little broken, that's fine. But for how rare they are, and for you're spending, I think $1,800, real
yeah,
life money, not 1,800, $180. Sorry, in real life money to buy this super little toy for your character. But something that minor, it's
yeah,
you're paying real life money. That's a lot of money for an
yeah,
in-game item. If they do not fix that, I'm gonna be pissed because people are spending their hard-earned money on that. It's
yeah.
super rare, the rarest item in the whole game. They're one of the rarest items in the whole game. Yeah.
If they wanted to
Um,
put that on there, they should have put it at the top where that rope's wrapped around it. They should have
yeah,
put it up there and had it hang down the side,
or even at
and
the
it
bottom,
wouldn't
like
have interfered.
the
Yeah,
spot that
at
it's
the bottom would have
in.
been fine too.
The spot that it's in, it's really cool. It just again, if they don't fix that clipping,
Yeah, no,
one people are gonna be pissed.
when it's on the screen by itself, I don't mind it at all.
Yeah, it
But when
looks
it's
good.
clipping through his thumb, that's a
A
deal
couple things
breaker.
for if people you don't even know what heirlooms are, if they're just like new to Apex or whatever. It's a rare. You open Apex packs, those are basically the loot packs, and you have a
Mhm.
very, very, very rare chance of getting heirloom shards, and then you can use those to craft an heirloom. There's about, I think this is the eighth or ninth one. This new one, and they're super rare.
Yeah,
And yeah, if it's yeah, there are people who are like
they're meant to
max
be
level in
kind
the
of a
game.
flex, but
Yeah, they are a big flex. People who are max level. I'm about to be max level, and you people just don't have them, which is why they're a big flex when you get
yeah,
them, especially if you paid
yeah,
for them.
Yeah, actually.
I'm also wondering what this thing is called because they all have a name. The last one,
Yeah.
Caustic's, was
If
literally
you can
called
see
Death
on the
Hammer.
animation when he picks it up and holds it up to the camera for the first time and like gets his second hand on it, there's like a name scribed into like the paint at the bottom of it.
Um, I think I know what that is. I don't think it's the name. I'm just gonna get into this after we're done here, but I know who gave him this heirloom because it was in the quest
Yeah.
for this season. What the hell?
Oh.
Is his name Nick? I think his name is Nick. It was Gibraltar's ex-boyfriend. Yes, he is gay.
Oof.
It was his ex-boyfriend because in the quest they go to like some event, and he is there, and he's like, "Oh, you kept the thing." I don't remember what it's called, but it's that. Because then
Yeah.
later in the quest, he whips that thing out, which is how I knew this was
Oh.
gonna be his heirloom, because they were like everything else. There's a specific scene, and I'll try to put it on the screen. Everything else in like the whole screen is like not, they're like earth colors, like tan ish, and then his
Yeah.
this weapon, his heirloom, is very clearly like colored out, like it's popping because they wanted to draw attention to it, and that's also the first time
Right.
I've ever saw him hold it,
Yeah.
and so that's how I knew that was his heirlooms. And then his ex boyfriend was like, "Oh, you still have it? That's interesting. Why'd you keep it?" Or whatever the hell they were talking about. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But so that's because an heirloom is something you get that's passed down. So that's who gave it to him.
Yeah.
Um, so we already know the origin of this one,
Yeah.
and I assume
See,
that's his
my
name scribed in is Nick or whatever his name is. I think
probably.
it's Nick.
See, my thing was there's a I mean, I'm not like disappointed by this because this is cool, but it's just I kind of wish that they would have gone with. There's a banner pose that he has with like
The
a shark
clubs.
tooth sword. Yeah, or was it a club, something like that? I
I
wish
think
they
it
would
was a
have gone
club.
with that.
There's a
That would have
specific
been
name.
really cool.
There's a specific name for
Yeah,
those clubs, and I don't remember what it's called, but
yeah, I
that's
can't
what we
remember.
all thought it was gonna be because he has a banner pose, he has a finisher with it,
Yeah,
and it just makes
well,
sense because he's like an islander or like a native
yeah,
Hawaiian.
no,
I don't
and
really know, but
that would have made it all make like that would have made a lot of sense too, because
right,
it's
because
a
this also
one of
has
those
nothing to do with his
traditional
heritage. Yeah, it
island
has nothing to do with
weapons, but
right. It has nothing to do with his heritage.
yeah,
It's just like an axe. Which another
yeah,
thing is, we already have an axe. Bloodhound has an axe, which
yeah,
he got from his, I think it was his uncle. But like, they're getting,
right.
I don't want to say sloppy, but like
Less
it's all kind of the
creative.
same thing. It's getting all kind of the same thing.
Well, and
We,
what's Bloodhound's axe even look like? It's like I'm kind of struggling to remember, but I remember
I think that's just
it
like a
being
straight up
something
hatchet.
kind of like this, isn't it?
I mean, this is definitely a lot more flashy, but his Bloodhound's is just a straight up hatchet.
Is
And I
I
mean,
gotta look this up real quick.
Gibraltar's looks a lot more like, I don't want to say futuristic, but like a lot more machine
Yeah,
made, I guess.
right.
Well, industrial, but which again to me doesn't make any sense, but whatever.
Oh
That's
yeah,
why
no, Bloodhound's is just a straight up hatchet.
it's a straight up hatchet. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, this one's a bit thicker than that one is, but
Right.
it. Yeah,
And
I mean, because I thought, who was it? I thought someone else's. I thought like someone else's was gonna be a knife as well, and then everyone's like, "Nah, that wouldn't make any sense because they already did a knife, and now they're doubling up on hatchets,
on hatchets,
and they've
well,
already like doubled up on knives because they
the
gave
big
Octane
thing,
the butterfly knife.
right? The big thing for, I think people were talking about crypto should get a data knife, which is from Titanfall 2. And
Yeah,
that's when I think that's when people were complaining like, oh no, they already did a knife. Or Wraith has a kunai, which is, I mean, technically not a knife, but
yeah.
like it's a knife.
Well, yeah, but
And then
it's similar.
Octane has a butterfly knife, which is they doubled up on that. The only two well, I guess there's
Yeah,
four. I guess the other four are unique, but because we have a sledgehammer, uh,
yeah. There's a
shock
sledgehammer
batons,
and yeah,
the boxing gloves, which fit nicely with this new event,
yeah.
and then
See, and that's my thing. Why didn't they time these up? So they gave
that's what I was gonna
like
say.
Pathfinder the town takeover with his heirloom. Instead,
See,
it's kind of
because
like they didn't plan ahead
and
almost.
even a third thing, the lore videos that they released. This last one was called Fight Night, which makes sense for the event, and it was
Yeah,
Pathfinder lore. But Gibby is getting his heirloom this time.
yeah.
So like,
Doesn't make any
I think
sense.
the first one was lined up. I think Wraith got her kunai, and then the video was released for Wraith. I
Yeah.
don't remember if Bloodhound got his at the same time or not. I just don't think he did. I think the video for
I
Bloodhound came out with either Pathfinders or Lifeline's heirloom.
did it.
I think so. It might have been around the time that Bloodhound got his, but either way, after that, I mean, we still haven't gotten
Yeah.
Mirage lore or like a lore video. We haven't gotten Gibraltar. We
Oh
just now
yeah,
got
because his is a
Pathfinder.
trophy for some
Right.
reason.
Yeah, and that doesn't make sense to me, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't.
We still haven't gotten Lifeline. I mean, there's everyone else who has an heirloom still hasn't gotten their video. I mean, we're just now getting to Pathfinder's video.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and I imagine
Uh,
it's something like that 8-minute video took forever to make, and like there's a lot of production into it because it was a good video. I don't know if you watched it or not, but it was great. It was the best one out of all of them.
I did.
That's
not.
my only thought is it's just those videos take forever to make that they just can't line
Yeah.
it up. But I don't. That's just
Yeah,
a
which I mean,
guess.
I guess is sort of valid, but I
Right,
mean,
but that's just my guess. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know.
Either way,
Um,
along with the collection packs, there's also the free prize track. Okay, just opened it.
Yeah.
These you can just get for playing the game, or specifically the new mode. But here's my question: there's badges every time. There's 4 badges. If you see in the picture in the top right ish,
Yeah.
or in the middle right ish, those are badges for playing the new mode. There's not a new mode anymore. It's just sort of replacing the normal Apex. So
Yeah.
I don't.
So
I wonder how that's gonna work. Or also, I see like boxing gloves. It might be maybe specific to like the ring. Like maybe one of them is knock 5 people in the boxing ring or something like that.
that's that's possible.
I'm not entirely sure. But in the prize track, there's always 2
Was it?
trackers that have the photos of each legend.
Yeah.
And since there's 2 in the little light in the top left, there's Pathfinder, Horizon, and Wraith. People are speculating that the 2 prize tracker things are going to be Horizon and Wraith because Pathfinder already has his. And since there's 2
Yeah.
anyway, that just sort of makes sense. But it could be anyone at this point. Who knows?
Yeah.
But it looks like for getting
Uh,
500 points, you get a Marvin head as a charm. Then the next big
Yeah.
one is a Gibraltar skin, a blue Gibraltar skin, and then
Yeah.
I think. See, here's my thing. These look blue because they have the blue like background, but that
But they might.
RE45 skin looks legendary. Am I wrong?
I think.
It looks too different.
I think it is. I think it is. I'd imagine that the RE45 is a legendary and the charge rifle is a legendary.
Right. I feel like
That's
one
a
of those
cool
two has to be
RE45
legendary.
skin, though.
Yeah, if it's blue, it looks good for a blue skin.
Yeah.
But I imagine
good
it
for
has
a
to be
blue
legendary. That's why it looks too good.
Yeah,
it looks too refined
I
for being a blue skin.
imagine it's a legendary, but
I don't know why
Who
it's
knows?
not highlighted yellow, but whatever. And then
Yeah.
lastly, the charge rifle skin, which I can't really see
Yeah.
anything from. So
which is I could have sworn
I
it was somewhere
can't
else.
tell anything about that.
Maybe not. Yeah.
Oh,
If you
it's-
scroll down
it's-
2 pictures, it's right there.
Oh, that's an
That
alternator
alternator
skin.
skin.
Oh,
is
okay,
really
yeah, no,
cool.
the RE45 has to be legendary. There's no way it's not.
The charge rifle is among the stronger of the charge rifles, but it's still a charge
Oh,
rifle.
it
so
does look really
it's
good.
all
It
out
looks
of
clean.
proportion.
All of these look clean as fuck.
Yeah. By
The
far the
alternator-
weakest is the charge rifle, but even that's
I
like,
would say
not
the
that bad.
weakest is the alternator.
I would not.
It looks good. Believe it looks good, but I'm not a fan of the like
I just
gold aesthetic. To me, there's not enough going on there.
Yeah,
Like the
I mean-
design itself is very elegant and good, but like I'm just not personally a fan of gold skins.
I just have serious issues with the charge rifle's proportions. I really don't like it. It just
Yeah.
looks too weird. That's
Wow, the charge rifle.
part
is
of
weird,
why.
though.
I mean, outside of how it actually performs in game, another big reason as to why I don't use it,
Well, see,
as to why it's always the last of the sniper rifles I would pick, is just because it looks weird.
yeah. Well, I think the whole aesthetic this season is like not like diamonds. You know how it has like I don't really know how to describe it. They're all like it's got like panels almost.
Oh yeah,
I think that's the whole aesthetic, which is why
Yeah, those
Loba's
little orange
skin
parts.
is all It's all like flat, like glittery stuff. But that's the whole aesthetic this season.
And
It also
on
like
that alternator
origami for some
skin,
reason.
there's like a gem heart thing on the front.
Oh right, like a black gem. Yeah.
Yeah, which is kind of cool, but you know,
Right.
I don't know. I really like the RE45 and the alternator, and the charge
Right.
rifle's good, but you know.
I didn't look at what's the one above it. These are like skins for people. The Revenant Skin
Oh
looking
yeah,
amazing.
the Revenant skin. That
I
Watson
from
skin's pretty cool.
Yeah, from the trailer it looked doo doo to me. I thought it was a blue skin, but then I got some like actual
Yeah,
pictures of like high res photos of it, and it looks sick. First of all, she has a cute
yeah,
ass beret. Second of all, it just looked
of
good.
course.
Oh,
Yeah,
um,
that
I
Bangalore skin
I
leaves
am
a little to
now
be desired.
I'm now understanding the complaints on Reddit. People were complaining that Bangalore's hair looks like garbage in
It
all of her
does.
legendary skin. And I was like, well, first of all, on the Karen one that she got season 5,
Yeah, that one's fine.
I
I'm
think it
cool
looks
with that one.
fine. I don't know what everyone's complaining about that one. And I honestly didn't see this one until like, right now. But nah,
Yeah, no,
the
this one
hair,
is not good.
the
This
hair
one,
ain't it, Chief.
this one is a valid complaint, but
Again,
the
it's
other one
another
was
Loba
not.
thing. From the neck down, it's fine. It's just the hairs,
Yeah, no, they get to
not
the hair
it,
and then they
Chief.
just give up.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Yeah, it's I don't know.
It's just cause it's always consistently these two, Loba and Bangalore. Their skins have gotten a lot of
Or
flack from legendary for their
yeah,
legendary skins. Which again, I think the Karen one
yeah,
from 2 seasons ago was fine, but this one ain't it.
yeah,
This
yeah.
one
No, this
ain't it.
one's not good.
Is this the last thing? This is the last thing before we get into changes.
Like bug
Loot
fixes, right?
Marvins. This is the last big thing besides meta changes
Yeah.
or buffs and nerfing. After having been previously decommissioned, Marvins are now programmed to reward legends in the arena. Only appearing in Olympus, these friendly guys will give you loot after interacting with them. They'll produce tiered loot equal to what is shown on their screen. So if it has a white sad face, it's level 1 loot. Neutral blue is level 2. Pleased purple is level 3. And very happy yellow face is legendary loot. Pick up your loot and thank your friendly Marvin, or if you're feeling toxic, shoot them. When you do, they may drop
Okay.
their arm for you to store in your inventory. Taking this to another Marvin with a missing piece may get you a reward. High five?
Okay.
This is interesting. First of all,
It's kind of
there's
cool.
just gonna be Marvins walking around now. This is really fucking cool.
Are they
If you don't know
walking or are they stationary like the ones that were in the game already?
I don't know, but there was
Because the
one
ones,
already that was like
yeah, there was
powered
a
down.
couple, weren't there? Or was it
I think
just
it was
one?
just the one. I think it was just the one.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
in a
because it was just
specific like
standing there.
warehouse
So
room. It was standing there, and then the whole quest. If you looked at the quest storyline, it was basically them getting a battery because Pathfinder was sad, and so he wanted to power the mom. So they go get a battery, and then a whole bunch of stuff happened. But they get the end of the quest. They got the battery, so now I'm assuming that ties into the lore. Now that they have battery, they're powered on, and now they're just. I assume they're walking around, but I'm not sure. They could just be in specific spots.
yeah.
But interacting with them will give you loot, and if you kill them, you can take their hand, and if you give it to another Marvin, it just says you'll get a reward. I don't know what that means,
Yeah.
but I've seen pictures on Twitter. It's literally an item. I think it has to be in your inventory because it says store in your inventory. So I imagine it takes up a slot,
Probably.
which would make sense. It's like a vault key. That's I guess this map's gimmick. So King's Canyon didn't have anything, and then World's Edge had the
yeah.
loot vault, and then
So
King's
it
Canyon
might
again
be.
had the bunker, and now this one just has Marvin's.
Yeah. So it might be worth it to actually kill them.
I don't know what the reward is though, because
Because I'd imagine if it's meant to be sort of like the vault, it would probably give you
give us
a
the
gold
good
or
loot.
a red.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
would assume.
because I mean, I was also thinking that like since you killed a Marvin, it might just drop like a pack of light ammo and call it a day.
Right, like random.
But yeah, like oh, since you killed it, here's your karma. You went through all this trouble. Here's some energy ammo, or just give you something you super do not need, like an alt excel or something.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
But if it's meant to be
And
like the replacement for the vault, then it's got to be something good.
my question is, how many of these are going to be in there, right? Like
Yeah, that too.
having essentially a bot, like scattered all over the map. First of all, doesn't seem good for the servers, which
No.
that they just
Which is
that's a
why I'd
whole
imagine they aren't
that's a whole other
walking
can of
around.
worms. That's a
But
whole other can of worms. Yeah, I don't know. I've only seen screenshots that the devs have been posting on Twitter, and I don't know if they're walking around. I would assume they're not walking around, because that also might interfere with the game. Like you think someone's coming towards you, but it's just a man.
yeah, because they are like a robot, so they're gonna be clanking up on you.
Yeah, yeah, and that also might not help with the sound because sound quality in the game is already
Yeah.
atrocious. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many they're gonna be. I would assume quite a bit if they're scattered all over the map, especially because of
Yeah.
how open Olympus is. I would imagine there'd be at least one in every major place.
Probably.
I don't imagine they'll be walking like they're like not out.
Yeah,
in the
I
open.
can't imagine they're walking.
Right, or just like out in the
quick-
open. That just seems doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Quick question though. On this,
Right.
under the Loot Marvin section, there's a picture.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Is this Pathfinder skin? Like, is that like a skin? Because like that's cool.
It's the Detective Pathfinder from the trailer. If people watch that, I'm pretty. I know I'm like positive it's a skin. I'm pretty sure it's like the Bloodhound one and the Wraith one, where it's a store item, like you have to buy it.
Ah,
It's not gonna be a part of the collection event
dang.
because that's like
'Cause that's
their
really cool.
their lore costume.
Yeah,
Wraith got the
yeah.
Phase Walker with the cool helmet. Bloodhound got their original outfit, and then Pathfinder, I mean, also technically got their original outfit because this happened years later or years before. But it's so sick. And first of all,
yeah,
I mean,
and it's got a little pistol on his
in the trailer,
jacket.
it was a trench coat, and I'm a little disappointed it's not a trench coat. It's sort of just like a cutoff jacket.
Yeah.
But that also, I mean, it also kind of makes sense because having to like, not animate, but like have those flaps of the jacket be a thing is probably not good for like mounting boxes and hit boxes. But either way, it still looks sick.
But also putting a trench coat on a robot that's
yeah,
turning like that is probably not the best idea.
Right. But he also looks sick as fuck. But either way.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure the devs confirmed that it's like a store item, not a collection thing. Which, because that's what I thought it was going to be. And I was like, okay, I'm saving my medals for that because that's sick as hell. But
yeah.
Alas, EA, money.
Of course. Couldn't get through one event without EA being EA.
No. And even the event items are expensive as fuck.
Yeah.
But either way.
Of course.
Anyway, here's down to the meta updates. This is like actual buffs and nerfs and stuff. First with the legends. There's nothing too meta shaking this time around. We're giving Season 7 some extra time to shake out. Horizon really strong but not overpowered. I kind of disagree. The below buffs are aimed at small power increases. Rampart still needs overall power. And the Caustic buff is an extra bit of compensation for the loss of vision blur from gas in Season 7. Note that looking at our data, the Season 7 change was a solid buff for Caustic, but he's not quite where we want him to be. We will get on that in a second. But Rampart, her amped cover, decreased cooldown from 30 seconds to 20 seconds. That is not the problem with Rampart.
No.
And I know they just said Rampart still needs overall power, but I mean, you gotta give Rampart something. I mean,
yeah,
that's not the problem with Rampart. The problem with Rampart is her cover gets destroyed immediately on place down. You just cough on it and it explodes. But but with the 30-second cooldown that it was, that didn't help either. But now there's 20 seconds. That's still not gonna make a difference. I'll have slightly faster explosions of my cover.
Yeah, what they either need to do is make it so for a given amount of time, the amped cover is invincible, so you can put up the gun, or make it so the gun can be put up without being destroyed for a certain amount of time, or until you start shooting with it, right?
A couple things. Okay, the cover itself I don't think it should be indestructible while it's being put up. I think it needs to have a shitload more health while it's being put up. It
Yeah,
also needs to be put up faster because that's her
yeah,
main ability. It should not be
yeah,
that slow. I know that it increases your damage and that's a big like reason to put it down, but it still should not be that slow. I just can't use it.
yeah,
I just can't. Nah, ever. I
yeah.
just can't put it down
Well,
because I get
and
shredded
see,
immediately.
because yeah, but that's the thing though, right? You can't use her big. I don't even know what you call it. The big like gun. I
Sheila?
don't remember what. Yeah, Sheila. You can't use Sheila in any situation
Nah.
unless you're camping a very commonly trafficked spot. And even then, enemies have a habit of sneaking up on you or seeing that you have a Sheila and running. Because it takes forever to put out. All the
Yeah.
cover, which presumably is supposed to be used in front of Sheila while you put it
No.
out, I think that is the intent.
Oh, it's the intent.
It
All right.
doesn't hold up long enough for you to do so, which is why I'm saying it should be either the cover should be invincible for a given amount of time while Sheila is being set up, or to allow time for that, or to have Sheila itself be indestructible to a certain point so you can put it up and use it. Because the main
I
thing
think
is you just can't put it down in a pinch when you need to because you don't have time and because anyone who has half a brain is just
I
going to
think
shoot it.
it was I think maybe the middle of season 6, maybe it was season 7. I don't remember. But they buffed the spin up time of Sheila. So when you sit down in it and you
Yeah.
start revving it up, that was perfect. Right now, where the rev up time for Sheila is great. The damage for Sheila, great. You just too can't put it down, and once you do put it down, you're stuck. That's where it's at. Because
Yeah.
if you pick it back up, I think if you don't use Sheila at all, if you don't sit on it, or maybe if you don't shoot it, you get 50% of your ultimate back.
Yeah.
But as soon as it takes damage, or as soon as you fire even one bullet out of it, you don't get anything back if you pick it
Yeah.
back up. The
Yeah.
two things the two I guess options I'm looking at for Sheila is one, make it so you can pick it up and like hold it as like a minigun.
Yeah.
We talked about this when we were playing the other day, but you pick it up and be able to move it, but you move it really slow, like at
Yeah.
like a crouch speed. That way you
Mhm.
still have some movement, but you're
Yeah.
not running across the map with a minigun. That's fucked. But you
Yeah.
should still like if you put it down in a tunnel and then they go around corner, you're kind of just sitting there, or you're getting
Yeah.
off and pushing because you just can't use
Well,
your Sheila anymore.
yeah, and it only has like what 180 degrees of rotation, not even.
I think
Like
I think
it's
it's 160
difficult.
or 150 or something because
Yeah,
it's
it's
like a
like
V. It's not a full
yeah,
line. That was the
it's
other option.
difficult.
Is give it
Yeah,
360.
just make it 360. Yeah.
That's the only two ways. I know how to fix at least how I would fix the cover. The only two things I can think of to fix Sheila would be let you pick it up and move at a crouch speed, or give
Mhm.
it 360. And even then, I would honestly prefer the first one.
Yeah.
I mean, both would be better.
Or at the very least, they could just make it so you can put it down faster. Like that would be so much better than anything they're trying to do right now.
anything would be better than
Just
what they're trying to do. But
just
even
have
then,
it
I
so
think
it sets up in 3 seconds rather than 5 or whatever it's at, whatever
I
the
just
setup
think
time is.
they should like
Have
move
it.
it.
It doesn't.
I think they
It
should let
doesn't
you
really
move it.
need to be that long. Yeah, I mean, or
To me,
both
I
of
think
those. Honestly, it's
I
not that
think
helpful.
yeah, I think to me, Rampart is not even competition. Rampart is the worst legend right now, and
Yeah.
it was very disappointing because the same thing we talked about with Crypto. She was like, "Oh, this is gonna be amazing. You can camp anywhere you want.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
no.
be blasting people left and right." And then you play the game, and you're just like an actual literal sitting duck. You're just sitting there waiting for people to come in.
On
The only
paper, she's OP. In practice, she's not, because we had that same, like you said, we had that same thing with Crypto, where you
right,
can pick up banners with the drone, you can EMP with the drone, you can open
right.
doors with the drone, you can do
Literally
all
none of
this
the things are
stuff with the drone. Like
helpful
the
when
EMP
you drop.
breaks all traps and whatever, which is actually annoying. But like,
Yeah.
still, Crypto outside of Crypto's drone, Crypto is not helpful.
And what
Which
was
is
it
why,
like?
yet again, they need to let you suicide bomb with his EMP, but y'all won't listen to me. So.
Right. What was I gonna say? But like when Crypto dropped, he was like hot garbage, like not helpful.
Yeah, no, he was
And then
trash.
what? It was season 5, and he got buffed. He didn't even get buffed. His drone got buffed to the max.
Yeah,
Now he can pick up banners. He can. Well, he can always do that. He can respawn you instantly. He
Yeah.
can use his drone to scan for the next ring. Which actually, on that note, they need to give Pathfinder a new passive because that was his passive to begin with, and now.
yeah.
But that's
Now it's just a thing.
Right. But yeah, and then Crypto got buffed, or his drone got buffed rather, and now he's really good as a team player.
I mean, yeah,
you have to know how to use him. You
I
can't
still don't
just
think.
walk into a round and play
Yeah,
him.
I would just
If
say
you know
for
how to
most
play him,
people,
he's good.
Crypto. I would say for most people though, Crypto is still just not a passable character.
No, there's definitely a
He's-
steep learning curve. Like you have to know how
Yeah.
to play him, which is not something
And
you
even
want for
then,
a
he's still
game.
fairly situational. He's kind of because you have to have teammates, you have to have communication, you have to have teammates that can cover you while
Right.
you're in the drone, and you have to make sure that you're in a spot where you're not going to get thirded. Because if you get thirded while you're in a drone flying that thing halfway across the map, you're in trouble.
You have to be
So-
fast with Crypto's drone, and he would be way more viable if they maybe not removed, but they lowered the delay between when you click Q and when you actually are able to move in the drone. Because there's like that loading screen,
Yeah.
that loading bar.
Yeah,
If they shorten that any amount, which because I started, there's a bug where if you throw Crypto's the hollow spray, the hollow spray, while you
Yeah.
open your drone, it does it instantly, and that's like an actual like it was amazing. Like you can actually do stuff with Crypto's drone now.
Yeah, like you could actually.
And it's
use
gonna get patched out. It's probably season 8 because this is probably the last update before season 8.
Yeah.
It's gonna get patched out, but it's disappointing because that's like helpful. Because now you can
Yeah.
quickly do
The
stuff.
bug. The bug fixed Crypto.
Somehow, you're getting pushed. You can now put out your EMP without getting shredded instantly because you're not waiting for your drone.
Which I mean, yeah, you should just be able to suicide bomb with the EMP. I don't see why you can't.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. If they were gonna do that, you should be able to suicide bomb with your EMP, but they should definitely be.
The Crypto takes damage.
Crypto should take damage, and also I think the range should be far smaller, because that bubble is huge. It's kind of shitty if you just stand like under, especially in the buildings in Capital with the big tall ones where there's multiple levels.
Yeah, that's true.
You should not be able to EMP the whole building just by being there. But no, I think it should take damage, and I think the bubble should be smaller. But either way, you should still be able to do that. Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there's not really an excuse for it, but whatever.
Right. Here comes the tsunami. Caustic, Nox gas trap. Decreased cooldown from 25 to 20 seconds. Everybody is complaining about this.
It's
everybody.
not that bad.
First of all, it's not even that big of a buff. I mean, he could put a new trap out every 5 seconds faster, which, I mean, it's just not that big of a buff.
I mean, listen, by far, the most annoying part of Caustic is the trap, so I can understand why people would see this and not be happy about it, but it's not that big
We were
of a deal.
talking about this on the server earlier.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into this whole Caustic rant because we're at an hour already, almost an hour already, and I know we're going to be here for another hour if I start talking. But the only reason pros, I think it's specifically pros, and they're just yelling really loud. The only reason pros complain is because they are used to a fast play style, like running and gunning. That's the whole, that's how they get 4K badges every game.
Yeah.
And Caustic is a nerf to that. He stops you in your tracks if you walk into his trap. Which means I don't want to be like, oh, pros have to think now. But pros have to be weary of what buildings they're walking in. If there's a Caustic there, they can't just go through the front door. They have to find maybe another entrance or a different way to attack. And first of all, I don't think Apex should be played that fast to begin with. It's a fast-paced battle royale compared to like, I don't know about Fortnite, but compared to like PUBG,
PUBG,
like those
45 minutes a good round.
Yeah, those games are like what a game would be in real life if you were in that situation. Whereas Apex,
Yeah.
the games are max 15 minutes. Well, max 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot faster than any other, well, most battle royales. I shouldn't say any other, but
Yeah.
it's still there's still like it's still a battle royale. You still have to drop, you still have to loot, you still have to find positioning, do whatever you need to do to win. So it's still a battle royale, and
Yeah.
pros I think are playing it. This is a bold claim. Pros are playing it, or the esports team is playing it like it's an arcade game. Like you put in a quarter, you're running and gunning, you're killing. Oh, I killed that guy. I killed that guy. I'm looting for a bit. And I just don't think it should play like that. Now, obviously, they're fucking dedicated and they're good at the game, but I just
well,
that's why they hate Caustic, because it slows them down. And yeah.
I also feel like you said to begin with that they're just yelling very loudly. I think it's that mixed with people just blindly regurgitating what they hear their favorite pro or their favorite streamer say.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, they don't actually really know what they're talking about. They just, Shroud said this, so boom.
Right.
Lulu said this, so this is my opinion now. And it's just, like, you kind of have to think for yourself on this.
Another thing that I mentioned for Caustic is, specifically because Olympus is a new map, that's what most people are playing. Caustic and more specifically Watson are garbage on that map. You can't do shit with those two characters. Everything is so wide open, and the points of interest even have like gaps between building to building. You just I'm sorry, you just can't play Watson or Caustic anymore.
Yeah, no. Trap characters on Olympus are horrible.
Trap let alone Rampart.
Trap characters on World's Edge even are hardly passable.
I think
there's it's very situational in those on that map, because it's only buildings pretty much.
What's great is this is just a repeat of last year, Season 3, Kings Canyon World's Edge. That's what happened. Kings Canyon is this tight map. Well, now I can't do anything. There's too much space between buildings. And now, Season 7, World's Edge is the new Kings Canyon, and Olympus is World's Edge. Well, World's Edge is fine. I just can't do anything on Olympus. There's too much space between buildings. I mean, it's the same thing, just on a larger scale.
Yeah. Except this time, you just actually can't do anything.
Now you actually can't do
it. It's way too open.
And fucking...
and there's random holes in it, which don't make any sense. But,
don't even get me started. Season 9 or Season 12, we're going to Samoth or whatever the next planet is, whatever we're doing. New map. Oh, well, Olympus is fine. This map is garbage. There's too much space on it. We're just going to keep seeing that trend.
Yeah.
Which is very funny to see
a map.
But...
Yeah. I want to see a map that takes, like, what Olympus has just packed into this very small, dense ring, and I want to see it spread it out. Like, World's Edge or bigger. Just see what they can do with that amount of space. Because I really just want to see a really big map that will maybe make the games a little bit longer too. Could be just cool. Because, like, coming from the Kings Canyon, the really tight map, the games are over like 15-minute stops. World's Edge, you get closer to 20 minutes. Olympus, from what I remember,
I'm actually not sure.
About 20 minutes, I think. But still, I mean, it's just, I want to see like a 25, 30-minute game, maybe. I think that could be cool.
On the contrary, I do not, because Apex servers cut out in the middle of the game.
Yeah.
I just played a whole game of Apex and I can't fucking finish it because Apex Legends.
Yeah, no, that's a valid complaint, because the servers aren't gonna be able to handle it. But
fix the fucking servers, dude.
Yeah,
I don't want to be that guy, but like, actually, how hard is it? I'm sorry.
I think they would actually retain more players if they fixed the servers.
No, 100%. They would probably double
a lot
their
of
players.
Quit playing this because they're like, the servers are crap. I can't actually play this game. Like, I have good internet and I struggle to play the game sometimes because it's just bad.
Season 7 Olympus is really fun. It's a beautiful map. They did a great job designing it, minus the open space, which is supposed to be compensated with the trident, but no one ever uses it. But where was I going with this? I fucking forgot in the middle of the sentence. Um, oh right, season 7 is great for content. The Olympus is great. The whole thing's great. However,
Yeah.
even the pros, they're like coming out on Twitter. They're like, I'm done playing Apex for a bit. I just feel burnt out. I'm not having fun playing Apex anymore. YouTubers are saying
Yeah.
the same thing, and it's just Apex consistently has good content, but it's the player rate, the player, I guess, morale, if you will,
Yeah.
is it's going in a negative trend. It's going down, and you
Well,
can
and
see this.
yeah, and like you can
Consistently.
attest to this. The last 2 seasons, I have played very little of
Yeah,
those games.
the greatest season I've ever had was season 4,
Yeah.
and it
Well,
went down from there.
yeah, well, and it's just the failure to fix basic issues for me. Like the time to
Yeah.
kill is they changed it, they fixed the game, they fixed the third party issue with it.
They
That's a
did
big part of
what?
why it's the first that's the thing I hate is being third party. You take out 2 squads and then have a couple of schmucks come around the corner. They're a duo squad in a trios game, and they can just wipe you out no problem with their white armor and an RE45 because you just got done sweating to kill off 2 pred squads, and these 2 nobodies come in and take you out. It's completely stupid. They fixed it with the new time to kill because it made it easier to take down your targets, loot, heal, whatever. It gave you time. They
Right.
fixed it, and then everyone complained about it. Yet again, the pros just yelling loud, people jumping on that bandwagon because they don't know any better. And so they reversed it.
Yeah.
And then there's
I
the
don't.
audio. They couldn't fix the audio
Don't get me started. First of
for
all,
8 seasons. We're here with 0 audio fixes,
Hold on,
and
hold
there
on,
should have
wait.
been audio fixes 4 seasons ago,
Why
at
is it
least.
why is it doing that? Okay, no, we're fine.
Yeah.
That was season 6, the beginning of season 6. That's when they changed the time to kill, and it was definitely
Yeah.
a change, and I think people needed to get used to it. But you and me, that was the most fun I've had in Apex since
Yeah,
season
no.
2 or probably like the peak of season 3.
Yeah.
But
Well, and it
and I get
rewards you
having-
for being a good player, though. It's
And
like
I-
if you can get your shots on target, you can get them off quickly, you can track down your targets before they can track you down. It rewards you for that. And that's what I feel we're really good at when we have to play this strategic game of which door am I going to go out of to flank this guy, or
right.
oh, are they above me? Do I hide? Do I run? Do I fight? Like, what do I do? When it gets down to that, that's where we struggle. When we can just, when we can put our aim and whatnot to work for us, we can actually do good. But,
I admit it. I think they needed to tweak a few things, but yeah, you and me both liked well, I guess that time to kill. And I think some people did, some people didn't. But it's just the sheer outrage from pros, not even pro, like YouTubers, big Apex players.
no.
And I was just like, wow, I think it was like 3 days, not even 3 days into the game. You didn't even try it for a week or 2. Which is why when, like, for right now, they said we're giving season 7 some time to shake out. Then they went on. That's why I'm okay with that, because we're trying new things. That's the whole point of meta changes. It's to switch things up, try something different. But when 2 and 3 days go by, and I don't want to say the whole community, but like a majority of the community is just shitting on the devs for not even trying it. They didn't even try it.
Yeah.
It was very disheartening to see. We just can't try anything anymore.
Well, and it's like, I honestly am struggling to understand why they hated it. Like, they literally want skill-based matchmaking gone so they can go and dump on a bunch of bronzes. Like, this allows you to do that, but to anybody.
That's a whole
what
other
are you
podcast.
complaining about, bro?
That's a whole
It literally
other podcast.
gives you what you want.
Yeah,
like, what are we complaining about? Anyway, we should probably move on.
Yeah, we need to
'cause
move
we'll
on.
be here forever.
Yeah. Right, that was a Caustic thing. Okay, so that was Caustic. It reduced cooldown from 25 to 20 seconds. It again, not that big of a deal. I know we kind of got off a tangent, but they were complaining about it being this big old buff, but it really didn't do a whole lot. I mean, it did something, but it's not.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, this is where we differ. The Hemlock decreased damage from 22 to 20. I think it needed that. I think that the Hemlock was really fucking good. Like, I was shredding people single fire 300, 400 meters away. And I don't think it should have been like that.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping this damage decrease will maybe negate the shredding that happens when you have a Hemlock.
Yeah.
You think it was fine?
I would differ from you on that. And like I said, I haven't played much of the game. But what I really look at is how often is it being used, right?
Right.
It's obviously not necessarily a meta weapon. Like, it's good, but it's not a meta weapon. Like, I'm not being killed with it every 4 seconds. Like, I'm getting killed with an R9 or a 301 or a flatline more than a Hemlock. Nobody's using it, even though it's supposedly this god tier weapon. So I thought it was fine where it was at. I think from what it was, whatever, what was that, 2 seasons ago? When it had 0 recoil and did like 25 damage, that was probably a little much. I think where it was at before this nerf was fine. I think the 22 damage was fine.
Right.
I think the slightly lower than original recoil was fine. But yet again, it's just it doesn't get used enough to matter. So
I think what it was before was it had high damage but a lot of recoil, and then they lowered the recoil without nerfing the damage.
Yeah.
Or I think they nerfed the damage just slightly, and then it was a machine. And then
Yeah.
I think season 7
But,
recoil, or they increased the recoil just like a slight bit, but it was still a machine.
Yeah.
And then that's when people, I think the biggest thing is I think people didn't use it, and then I hate to go.
Then it got good.
Go back to. I hate to go back to the pro thing, but like a couple pros got killed by it, and they were getting a little annoyed. And then their fans started, spreading the word, and they were like, okay, this gun is OP.
Yeah.
And then other people started using it, they started picking it up. So I think it just got really popular the last few weeks, and then that's why they decided to nerf it.
In all the rounds I've played in this game, though, I can't say I've ever really been rinsed by a Hemlock.
Oh, I have.
I mean,
it's
when
insane.
it was at its best, when it did 25 damage a pop and had 0 recoil, I still, like, there's maybe once where I can say that I've actually, like, been thoroughly wiped off the face of the planet with a Hemlock.
I think that's what happened, though, is people started using it a lot recently, like the last few weeks, and then people got shredded. I think that's why they had to nerf it.
I don't know.
But
maybe.
Either way, it's got nerfed by 2 damage, but
yeah,
still 20 damage. It's still quite a bit.
I mean,
especially for the rate of fire. For the rate of fire that a burst weapon has. I mean,
it's
crazy.
Still. Well, they nerfed the rate of fire on the single fire, didn't they?
On the single fire, I think a little bit.
I think they did that like last.
But the biggest thing with
this
single fire is that there's like not a ton of drop at longer ranges. Like you can consistently tink people with it, and I think with the 22 damage that it had, I think it was getting insane. Because I specifically remember the last time I played, just like deleting people. Like I'm not killing them, but like if I had better aim, like I could probably knock them with the range that I was having.
Yeah.
Which is why I think it kind of needed the damage nerf, or maybe have it higher recoil or higher drop. I think that's probably not worth it, but either recoil or damage needed something, and I guess they went with the damage.
Yeah.
But either way, it's a thing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Mastiff spread out 3rd and 4th pellets, decreased max range of 4 pellets hit. Was plus and minus 7.5 degrees. Now plus and minus 10 degrees.
So they just made the spread wider? Wait.
Oh. Yes. Okay, so think of it like so you're aiming forward. There's like a V as the cone. It's like a flat because it's
right.
Like 4 pellets. So let's say there's the 3rd and 4th pellets. Well, see, I was thinking in the middle, the outer 2 pellets on each side got widened.
Yeah.
But it also says 3rd and 4th pellets. How many? I don't remember how many pellets it has. But either way, I think this just means that it got
5. I think.
Either way, I think this recoil. I think that not the recoil. The sprite on it got nerfed.
Yeah, which
Which
in a way
I don't.
actually helped it. So
I just.
because my main thing with the Mastiff was someone can pre-fire a corner and they have like the entire room covered. That was always my issue with it.
My thing with the massive is
It was
the.
never the spread's too tight. It's always the spread is way too wide, and they've just widened it now.
Well, okay. Well, yes, but also no. Well, because with the wider pallets though, you're getting less damage because
I guess there's more. Yeah, there's technically more gray area in between. So
right.
if
But
you're up
my
closer,
my
then
problem with
it's
the
less
mastiff
damage.
is it should not be loot or ground loot. It just shouldn't. I'm sorry, it just should not.
Yeah, no.
When they
It
switched that with
should
the
be
PK, which by
great.
the way was another pro move because pros were complaining about the PK when they buffed it, and
Yeah,
now it got
which is
switched.
also stupid.
But
But
that's whatever.
well, didn't they
Um,
nerf it before? They like nerfed it and then put it in the care package. So they
I
put this
don't
neutered
remember
PK into the care package. I thought. I don't know.
what I think what
Either
happened.
way, it was stupid.
I don't remember. I do not remember. Either way, and rest in peace the PK and the 7 legendary skins I have on it.
Yeah.
My problem with the massive is that it has the power to one shot someone, and the PK never had that. At least I don't think it had that. I mean, the
It
PK
didn't.
had high damage, but it could not one shot someone.
I think with a headshot on a PK, it was only 90, wasn't it?
I think it was more than that, but it was
It
not
might have
one
been like
shottable.
120 to 90,
Yeah, I think it was
somewhere in
like
there.
110 or something like that. But either way, it was not one
Basically, if
shottable.
you have armor, it's not going to one shot you.
No, but with the Mastiff, there's a reason it was the care package, and they nerfed the damage just slightly when they put it on ground loot, and here we are, one-shotting people with a Mastiff.
Yeah.
I agree with the
No.
argument that the Mastiff feels better as a shotgun, but they needed to nerf the damage more than they did.
I don't know. I mean,
I don't have a problem with the gun itself, it's just the damage to me.
I feel worse personally with the Mastiff because it's more of a crapshoot as to whether you're going to get a good shot, whether you think you're going to get a good shot or not.
It's a gamble.
It's always, yeah, it's always a gamble. Every single shot is a gamble. You might one shot them, you might hit 0 pellets. And everyone else is always better at shooting the Mastiff than you are.
It has the potential to one-shot someone or do 13 damage. Those are the only two options with the Mastiff. Those are the two options.
No, there's literally no
It's so inconsistent, and that's what makes it such. It like angers me because it has the potential to one shot, which means the damage needs to be nerfed. But it's also so inconsistent that you can't one shot a whole squad. Like consistently, I should say you can obviously, but it's just so inconsistent and has such high damage. It just doesn't make sense. It's not balanced in any sort of way.
Yeah.
Like it's balanced, but it's not. It's shitty and it's really good, but that doesn't make it balanced.
Yeah.
It's like a yin yang, but that doesn't make it balanced. Even I just whatever.
Yeah, no, it's not. But
and then
you know.
the last thing, well, not the last thing. We still have a whole lot of a couple quality of life things. The Prowler, which is in the care package now, got more reserved ammo, which it needed because it's a Prowler.
But I mean, it was a problem with the Prowler. It's not the problem with the Prowler.
Well, the problem with the Prowler is it's not a care package.
It's in the care package.
It's not a care package. It's good.
It's not.
It's just not a care package weapon. Sorry, but it's
like I get. To be fair, neither was the All-Star that launched in the care package. So
here we are. I don't. That's just whatever. They buffed the Prowler. That's fine.
I think a really good Havoc would be a fine care package weapon. Like when the Havoc was at its peak, that would be a fine care package weapon.
Any weapon can be a care package weapon if you do it correctly. The Prowler can be a care package weapon. You need to increase the damage more than it is now.
Yeah.
Or increase the rate of fire. Just do something because they didn't change the Prowler at all. Not once. They didn't change anything to it. I think they removed. They gave it less ammo because it's a care package weapon, but they didn't do anything. It's the same Prowler that it was season 6, right? Yeah, season 6.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah.
So I don't understand that move. Again, like I was talking about on the server earlier, I understand meta changes, but you have to do something with it other than just put it in a care package.
Yeah.
Anyway, these are just quality of life changes, but I want to talk about a few of them. The first one, ultimate accelerants can now be used without opening your inventory. If your ultimate is not currently available, just press the button or buttons on a controller to activate it, and you'll pull out any stored accelerants in your inventory and use it automatically.
This should have launched with the game.
I have a couple thoughts about this.
This should have been here already.
Being able to use your alt excel without opening your inventory should have been in the game.
Yeah.
I would have liked it to be on the wheel with your meds. Someone did a mock-up on Reddit. Where it was just they sort of shrinked everything down, obviously, but it was still doable and it worked fine. If I'm at 99%, unless there's some barrier here where it's like 95% or above, it doesn't work. But if I'm at 99% and I'm playing Bloodhound or whatever, and I want to use my ultimate, I'm spamming Z to use my ultimate when it's that way I can have it when it's ready. If I'm at 99% and I'm spamming Z and it whips out an ult excel, I'm gonna be pissed because I'm like either I just have to cancel that ult excel while I'm trying to do other stuff, or I'm in the middle of a fight spamming Z to use my ultimate and I just get cucked by an ult excel. Which is why I agree it should have been here at drop, but it should not be press the button. It should be in your wheel.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be.
Because I know I'm gonna do that again, unless there's a barrier for like 95% or above. It won't do it because you're close enough, right? Either way, I just don't think it should. I don't think. But
I've nothing really to add to that. My main thing is just this should have been in the game already.
Yep,
it should have been in the med wheel, ready for you. Because it's stupid that you have to open your inventory.
Right.
And
it's a small thing. There's way more things that need to be fixed. But like that, it just should have been a thing. Like I don't know why. It's
like what?
It's almost 2 years later.
Yeah. Like who sat in on this meeting and was like, well, it's not technically a med, so we're not going to put it in the wheel. Like who came up with that decision?
I don't know. Whatever.
Literally the most annoying human on the face of the planet.
And see, a lot of quality of life changes happened because of social media, like Reddit or Twitter are the big ones for Apex at least. And I mean, I think a couple of more of these are going to be because of Reddit. The next one, when in a lobby, if a party member leaves your lobby for any reason, all party members will be marked as unready. This should stop accidental launches into a match when your buddy dipped out for a second. Again, why was that not from the beginning?
Yeah, it should have launched with the game.
Again, it's a small thing. I think it's only happened a handful of times, but I have launched, or you and me have launched into games because, first of all, because the server disconnected me and we were in a lobby readied up.
Yeah.
Or because my internet cuts out or whatever. You've launched into a soul. I know you have because I remember happening. You've launched into games before.
You say it's only happened a handful of times. Basically, any time you have lost connection to the server or it's kicked you off of the server after a game or your internet has cut out, every single time, pretty much, I have been readied up and I've launched into a game. It is the most annoying thing ever, and this should have been in the game from Season 0.
Right.
There's no excuse for it to have not been.
Right.
It's just common sense. If someone leaves the party and you're alone, why? What if it wasn't meant to happen? What if it's your trash servers that gave up on living? Like, come on.
There's a reason why all party members, in like any game, there's a reason why all members of the party have to be readied up in order to start the game. Because we're all different people. We got stuff going on. We all need to make sure we're all ready. And when it just throws you into a round because, you were searching for a round, but, I mean, not anymore with your friend. It's just, There's a lot of things that... they're just small things that needed to be in the game from the beginning. There's no reason for them to not be in the game.
Yeah.
This next one I personally never had a problem with, but, I mean, I know a lot of people did. The fabled Mark All As Seen button has been added. Click this to remove the pesky, helpful red dots. So if you open an Apex pack, you get a Bloodhound banner frame, whatever. You close the Apex pack, there's a red dot where Bloodhound's character should be, and it tells you, hey, you got a new item. Well, I mean, for me, I always just look at it every time, because it's never stacked up for me. But there are people who just, don't care, but it's also kind of annoying to have a million red dots all over your screen.
Yeah.
So
No, that's me 100%. I
right,
like, especially when I first started in this game, like I didn't care what I got in an Apex pack. I never clicked on it to
right,
look at it. I'm just like, oh, that's a pretty cool skin. Moving on, because
right.
I wanted to get back into another match. And so like by the time I was like a level 50, I had like literally like 18 skins for each character and each gun, and I was just
It's a
drowning
snow.
in red dots.
It's a snowball
And
effect. You're
even
like, I'll do it later, and then you don't do it later, and then you get more
yeah,
skins, and then you sort of give up.
exactly. And then like this season when they redid their battle pass or
Oh,
whatever, and
right,
they gave
that was a
everyone
big thing.
10 free extra
Yeah,
uh battle
levels.
pass levels. And then I have to sit there and sift through all these
Right,
skins and banners and gun skins and weapon
right,
charms, and it's stupid.
and
This is another thing.
right,
It should have launched with the game. There,
right,
I mean, you have a system that for the first 100 levels gives you an Apex pack every time you level up.
right,
Why was this not thought of? Like, you get 3 things per Apex pack, assuming at most 1 or 2 of those things is crafting metals. That's still 100 items, 200 items that are going to show a red dot.
right.
I mean, why was this not thought of?
Again, it's not been a problem for me because I just am anal about notifications, but
Yeah,
I definitely understand the gripe with that when you have
I
specifically
I
the 10
get
battle
annoyed.
pass levels. I didn't even think about that until now
Yeah,
because I
no,
remember people
that
on
that was
Reddit. There was a couple comments on Reddit that was like, "Oh, I haven't played the game in a couple weeks. I've been busy doing other things. So what happened to the battle pass level? Why did they get 10 levels?" And well,
yeah,
I mean, I yeah, but yeah, I can get that.
yeah. No,
Uh,
that really,
the next
that
thing
really upset me.
I'm pretty hyped about. I'm probably more hyped about it than I should be, but pinging the nearest respawn beacon when you're spectating or when you're dead will now always ping the nearest beacon unless you don't have time to use it before the ring closes, instead of defaulting to the nearest beacon in the next safe ring. This is
Yeah,
specifically more helpful with randoms because I know I will have 3 minutes while the ring is closing, and I just happen to die and they clutched it or whatever the hell happened. But we're 3 minutes until the next ring. But they just like I don't know if they just didn't look at the map or they just looked at what my ping was when I hit the space bar. It'll ping even if you're because there have been times when I died in a fight, but my teammates finished them off.
yeah,
And we were right next to a respawn, like right next to a respawn beacon, and they instead ran into the ring instead of just getting me up there while they're looting.
yeah,
So I think this is more helpful for randoms, but like obviously if you and me are playing, even trios or duos, we'll obviously know if one of us dies, but
yeah,
because we're talking to each other. But
yeah,
and I mean, you could argue that this should have been in the game to begin with too, but I mean,
yeah. I
you
mean,
get the point.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, no.
Next thing, we now show you how many treasure packs are needed to require the next comic page. This should make things easier to people who are chasing the new bit of lore to know how far away they are. I mean,
It's
yeah, yeah, that's not much. That's not interesting that much.
so cool.
Yeah, it helps people who are like, I mean, I guess for me
Who
because
are
I don't play
actively
every day.
chasing the lore specifically, yeah, it could help those people. But I mean, how many of those people are there?
Not a lot more than you think. Caustic
Really?
should now smash the door with his heirloom hammer instead of his leg if available. Honestly, that's I again,
That
how we're
should
talking
have
about the
been
Gibby
with
thing.
the heirloom. I mean,
Again, with the Gibby thing is because of how rare that is. That's it's that kind
yeah,
of
that's expected. I
yeah,
mean, it
especially
is a sledgehammer, so
yeah,
it
it's
makes
for being a
sense.
hammer, right? Which I'm interested to see
Yeah,
what the animation for that is because
yeah,
I'm wondering how they do it.
that would be interesting.
But yeah. The next thing, we added a small bit of information to the Find Friends box to describe a situation where your friend might not be findable because of their EA account settings. I mean, that's just
That's
information.
meh.
That's not,
No,
that
no one
doesn't
cares.
work. Yeah.
I play with one person, so it doesn't matter.
There's a bunch of bug fixes. I don't think we'll. Actually, there's not that many. I'm just gonna read through them, but we probably won't go into them. Fixed an issue with Bloodhound's UI disappearing after interacting with Horizon's tactical. Again, I mean that's just season 7. That was just a bug. Fixed an
Yeah,
issue with Ray's portal being destroyed by the Trident. Again, season 7, just like a bug that happened because of a new
yeah,
update. Fix an issue with Bangalor's missile passing through hatch doors when they are closed in World's Edge. Passing through hatch doors. What hatch doors?
Are those the ones
Hatch
at
doors?
like at that one base up at the very top of the map? Those ones that you used to get killed on if they closed on top of you or you were standing on top of when someone opened it? I think those. I think.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know what. What are you talking about? Wait.
Oh, and World's Edge.
Yeah, in World's Edge. That's why I'm confused.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because, okay, it's a Bangalore bolt, so it's the missile landing on the ground. And it says hatch door, so I imagine it's something in the floor that you can go into. But the only thing in the floor that I can recall is in Kings Canyon. Those are the loot bunkers.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't know what that is. World's Edge.
I'll show you. I'll send you a picture of what I was thinking.
Okay,
of,
yeah,
like,
I'm just going to continue on.
But, yeah.
No, okay, this we need to talk about. Mirage. Fixed an issue with Mirage's decoys not making footsteps. I shit you not. Everyone on Reddit was like, fixed an issue? That was supposed to be in the game? Because...
yeah, that doesn't make any sense because it's... Like
one,
it's
they're decoys.
It's a hologram, right?
Yeah, one, it's a hologram. Two, that people were like, "Oh, it's a new Mirage buff that we didn't even know about," because no one thought they're supposed to make footsteps. Not one person. I don't think anybody was like, "Hey, where are the footsteps for my decoy?" I don't. Hello.
It doesn't even really like it. That doesn't need to be here.
No.
Really.
First of all, that's actually a nerf to everything in Apex. I won't be able to hear anything ever again. Yeah. Which I guess it is a Mirage buff because I guess it helps with the bamboozle if someone throws a decoy
it
outside of a door.
Absolutely is a Mirage buff. This shouldn't even be in bug fixes. This should be in the buffs and nerfs.
And honestly, it shouldn't even be a thing. I'm just confused.
Yeah, no, that should not be a thing. And how much you want to bet? Someone forgot that they had to do some special thing in the code to make sure that everybody on the map doesn't hear the footsteps. And they forgot to, so now you're gonna spawn in. There's gonna be that Mirage that pops his ult, and then you're gonna hear 16 footsteps full blast in your ear, and be super confused.
Okay, that brings up. I remember the wingman. They instead of saying they nerfed the wingman, they said they fixed a bug when crouching with the wingman had like no recoil or whatever, or had no drop. They put it in the bug fixes. They put it in the bug fixes. Even though it was, I think it was always like that or something like that.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a bug fix. It was just like you just nerfed the wingman.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Well, it wasn't there. That was a thing though. Like a couple seasons ago or something, right? There was like a buzzing sound, or there was like some recurring sound that was being played by some other legend popping their ult from across the map, and it just put it in everybody's ears for no reason.
First of all, we solve this audio thing like months ago?
Well, yeah, because it's like every sound outside of a certain radius is dropped. The volume is dropped.
Yes. What's happening? Someone literally did a video on this, and I proved it. I did it in my own game. Right after I watched the video, I opened Apex, I did it, and it worked. What's happening is, rather than having individual audio per person, there's just like all of these audio like clips, I guess you could say. Everybody's getting the same audio. Yeah. We're all getting the same audio. So if you were healing across the map, I'm receiving that audio clip when I'm across the map from you. However, because I'm not close to you, the audio for that clip is getting dropped all the way down. And so it just acts like, I'm not hearing it, because when you play the game, you're not hearing it, obviously, because it's below like negative whatever.
Yeah, there's
the problem
ton
is
of other sounds that are layered over it.
They're popping for everyone, and because there's so like every footstep, every opening of a crate, every whatever, we're all getting the same one. And if there's 60 players all popping a shield cell at the same time, or all walking around, that's the problem with the footsteps. Is footsteps are getting cut out because some of them have higher priority than others. Obviously, the ones closer to you have higher priority than the ones across the map. The problem, I don't know what's happening there, but that's what's happening with audio. That's how audio works in Apex. I guess we just found that out a couple months ago. I don't know what causes certain audio clips to take priority, But that's what's happening. There's overlap. There's too many clips happening at the same time. Some of them have to get cut because you can't play them all at the same time. That's why audio in Apex is so garbage. So like for the one that are the footsteps that are right next to you are not having priority over the one across the map, and because you can't hear the one across the map, you're not hearing either. So I don't know what they just. I mean, I would assume you just need to redo all of the sound at that point, but
I also like. I want to know why they did it that way. I would imagine it offloads from the server, having to deal with that, with computing that.
If anything,
and
it
puts it
wouldn't do the opposite.
I don't think so, because I'd imagine that the server gives your computer all of the sound information, and that your computer is what deciphers what is closest to you versus not. I'm not sure, but I'd imagine that's how
I'm not a developer. I'm not a web server. I'm not a web server.
I'm not a
designer.
user,
I'm not a sound designer. I don't know if this is a more efficient way of doing things. I also don't know if other games do this. That's just what I've learned from my time playing Apex.
But I also want to know,
in my head,
like,
it just doesn't seem efficient.
Yeah, I also want to know, like, because presumably there's a maximum amount of sounds that will be played for you, right? Because that's kind of every video game. There's a maximum amount of sounds. Anything past this will be just cut out. Like Anarch 2003, that game I play. It has an actual setting to cut down on lag and glitching and whatnot, where you can set the amount of sounds that it will play in your ear from anywhere from like 30 down to like 2.
Right.
So I'd imagine that there's something like that in the game too, where it gets overloaded and then just stops at a certain cap.
That's what's happening.
Yeah.
There's just too many sounds at once, and it has to prioritize. You can't play all of them at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know how it decides what's priority and what's not. Because
I also want to know why it took EA. Well, why EA still doesn't really know what's happening, and it took some dude like a week in his house just playing the game to figure it out.
I don't know.
Like, why does this man on Reddit have to do the job of a corporation?
I don't. Well, because I don't know.
I don't get it.
Again,
anyway.
I'm not a developer. I'm not whatever. Which, again, if decoys have footsteps, that's more sound bites, more sound clips that are getting layered over each other.
Yeah, so that's the whole audio is just gonna get worse.
However, Crypto fix an issue with hack consuming 2 vault keys if 2 keys were in Crypto's inventory. I don't know why it did that. Who also has 2 vault keys? Fix an issue with hack getting stuck within the Trident when deployed as a passenger and the Trident is on a ramp. I have never once used Crypto's drone on a Trident. I didn't even know you could do that.
I didn't know you could do that, and also, why would you do that on a ramp?
I don't know, but here we
go. I mean, what's the point in that?
Revenant fixed an issue causing other players to teleport with Revenant if they punch Revenant when he has very little health. Yeah, I don't remember. I didn't know that was a thing. I don't know who found that one out, and
it's probably that guy that kept punching you while you were trying to snipe that one game. Probably that guy. He probably found it.
Fixed an issue that didn't allow Revenant to deploy Death Totem while on the Trident. Again, I don't use the Trident ever because no one ever gets on it with me. So I don't know. I don't know what you can and cannot put on.
Supposed to be able to deploy that?
I think most legends, there's some interaction between the Trident and their ability. So like Gibby can put his dome on the Trident and he can drive around with the dome. So and Caustic can put his traps on there, and Sheila can put Sheila on the back of it and ride around. I just haven't used the Trident ever with enough. I haven't tried all the combinations because no one ever uses the Trident because people just refuse to use it. I don't know why. But yeah, I didn't know that was a problem, but Loba, okay. We've heard this one again, now haven't we? Fixed a lot of windows in World's Edge that prevented Loba's bracelet from passing through. This is probably...
I will say, this is an actual issue.
Okay, but this is also like the 5th time they said they fixed Loba's bracelet. And I assure you, January 5th, when this drops, it still won't work.
Yeah.
I guarantee you. I promise you.
Yeah.
Anyway, Rampart fixed an issue that allowed Rampart to play Sheila while in the phase runner. All right. I don't know what the point of that is.
Why was
but
she able to? Why was she able to do that?
And also, if she can, like, what happens? What is the point? Either
Yeah.
way.
Okay.
Fix the issue where UI elements stayed on screen after using Sheila. Again, that shouldn't have been a thing, but alright. Horizon fixed an issue with Horizon's abilities not affecting Lifeline's dock and Crypto's drone. Again, I didn't know that was supposed to happen.
Yeah, that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense.
Well, I mean, it makes physical sense, but it doesn't make sense in terms of gameplay.
I mean, yes. Yeah, no, gameplay, it does not make sense.
I remember people complaining of, like, oh, why does Horizon's ultimate work through walls? Okay, first of all, it's a gravity. It's an actual thing that changes how gravity works. So
Yeah.
it makes sense that it works through walls. You know, gravity doesn't stop because you're in a bathroom, you know?
I'm in my house. Gravity is unaffected.
Gravity, I'm just going to fly up to the ceiling. Gravity doesn't work anymore. I'm in a house.
This is my house. Gravity doesn't pay the bills.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever. But from a gameplay standpoint, I don't know why it should affect Doc or Crypto's drone, but I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
You do you.
I don't know.
Inadvertent Horizon buff, not clickbait. Okay, well, that's the whole patch notes.
Yeah.
And it's an hour and a half minutes, so...
Of course.
Remember at the beginning when I was worried that this would take like half an hour?
Of course.
Here we are. Here we
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It was way more material than we really
And
needed.
this was also like a small patch. Like, it didn't add a whole lot.
Yeah, no.
At least in terms of buffing and
patch.
everything.
Yeah.
I'm excited about the boxing ring.
Yeah. That and the skins.
Right.
The RE45 skin.
I'm
most
not
specifically.
hyped for the airdrop, the packages, the care packages.
Yeah, no, that
seems
dumb.
like not the move, but here we are.
Like, listen, make it an event, fine. Making it a takeover of normal Apex, no.
My other thing, I was gonna bring this up earlier and I forgot. Ranked right now is in World's Edge because that was where the split happened. The first split was Olympus, this new one's World's Edge. So if you're adding a takeover and also adding a mode to the same mode, or a new like thing, a takeover to the same mode, isn't that gonna take away from the cool, or like being able to explore the boxing ring? Because you're kind of splitting people's attention. Do you want us to play the takeover with the
That's
care
true.
packages, or do you want me to go explore the boxing ring and box people out? Like, that's why it should have been a different mode. That way you can do both. You know, I play normal Apex. I can play normal Apex and explore the new boxing ring. But with the new mode, I can just be wacky and get a Kraber every 5 seconds. But it just seems odd. To me,
that doesn't make any sense.
I guess we'll have to see.
We will.
Okay, this has gone on way long enough, and it's gonna take me forever to upload this. But thanks for listening to us yammer on about pros and boxing rings and other garbage.
Many other useless things.
Yep. I mean, that's kind of it.
Yeah.
We will hopefully have another podcast next week, if anybody listens or cares. So, goodbye.
See ya.